Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. Just a short video here on these two Super Nintendos. I might try and repair the, well, I say repair, look at the state of the cases. You won't believe the damage the courier did to this. Look at this. This is, I just put some of the loose bits of plastic in a bag. There's probably about 100 bits in there. There's lots of very small bits. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the bloody courier now for the life of me, but yeah, this is all because of them. They were not sold like this. Cases were damaged anyway. There were bits, I think there was a bit of plastic missing off the bottom there, but I think they've certainly been thrown around in transit. So all I'm going to quickly do is just tear these down, probably whiz the lids. I'll keep some of these plastic components like the flaps, maybe this piece if I can get this piece off, the switch, the eject buttons. I'm thinking of using one of these on my system actually, just because the text is still on there, really clear, you know, nice and clean on both of them. So yeah, I'll save those, keep the front bezels because they're still in one piece, but the bases and the undersides are absolutely shot. You know, the top part is absolutely shot. Well, the lid came off. It was just one screw. All the other fittings are just like stuck within. You can see here, just broken off. So, but I'm going to take this off now because I want to keep the screws. The screws are going to be useful. But yeah, all this mechanism, the springs, those are going to be useful. The switch, this assembly. May as well just take that straight out now. It's just needs pulling out of there, I think. Yeah, they're going to be useful, I guess. But you can see here, look, another piece to fit in with a screw. But that's all right. You know, that could always be retrofied and reused. And it's got the ports and things on there, so that's the main thing. Looks all right. And you can see this is a different revision to the one I've got. This is yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought there for a minute. It's the PPU's sorry, the audio circuitry, the sound stuff is not a module. It's not modular. It's all going to be on board. So I'll just get these screws out here to get the shielding off and get the board out and have a look at the board. There we go. That's all the screws out. Hopefully this should come out now. Still stuck here, got one down here. Just get that out quickly. Yeah, I'm keeping all of these screws where I can. There's going to be some work to get the bits of plastic off some of them where they've not, where they've detached, you know, from the case and stuff, because there's quite a few mounts that have just broken off, sheared off. Look at the state of that. It's unbelievable. It really is. Someone tried to glue that in the past, look. Yeah, that's going to go in the bin. But if we look at the board now, will that piece of shielding come off there? Yeah. So I'll try and zoom in here. Now this is one of these where it's a black screen. Yeah, some awful epoxy around that processor there. You can see that. See around here, it's like an epoxy. If you look at it in the light, look at that. Someone glued that down. I don't know. It probably just needs reflowing. It looks like it needs reflowing to me, that. But I'm guessing you know, there's other things at play here on this particular system as well. Even the PPU looks like it needs reflowing there. Look at those pins on that side there, looking pretty questionable. Anyway, I'm sidetracking myself. Yeah, there's a few things, you know, obviously I use this as spares, you know. Chances of all of these components being faulty are slim to none. The biggest fear with one of these, and I was thinking about this the other day, is that this W-RAM. I did a bit of research after I did my first teardown of this S-WRAM chip, and the reason it's got Nintendo on it, it's not just a RAM chip, it is RAM. I think you've got 2 banks of DRAM in there, and it's been designed in such a way to handle 2 different buses, like bus A, bus B, with some sort of control logic built in, presumably. So it's a bit of a bespoke package. You can't just swap that out for a standard component. I'm guessing with some work, someone could produce a little board that replaces the functionality of that with some SRAM or something, but it wouldn't be that easy. I don't think. It's been done on other systems, so it's entirely possible, but just due to the footprint size and the fact it's surface mounted, means that's going to be pretty difficult to deal with in years to come. But I'm fully suspecting on this that the caps could be part of the issue here. You can see some of them down here, some SMD caps. But yeah, I mean, I'm only going to be using this for spares, but I will try and get it working, and we'll certainly power it up in a minute, I think, after I've just cleaned it all off and stuff, and just to see what state it's in. see if we can get any life out of it at all. But yeah, there we go. At least the board's not damaged. It doesn't appear to be damaged. You know, there's no cracks or anything like that, so that's a plus point. I simply had to show you this. I just noticed this was on there like that. I've just put it back on, hopefully. Do it carefully. Can you see? Just look down here. I'll see if I can zoom in. See, we've got some green corrosion there. I was like, what the hell's that? And as I looked at it, it's not flush on the board. So I thought, I'll just try and lift it. And lo and behold, this just pops off. I guess it's just designed to be that way, but this is new to me. You can clean these up. You know, this is, if you're getting cart problems, slot problems, this is what you need to do. You need to pop this off, clean all of the fittings under there, obviously clean that part, and clean the contacts here as well. It's nice the way that's modular like that. I never noticed that about the other one. Maybe my other revision, my Japanese model's different. Anyway, I'll just get the shielding off while I have a look under there. So it's looking alright. You can see that you've got the audio hardware around here. It's a shame it's not a module. Hoping the next one might be a module I can just unplug and plug in. But I could always just remove these, you know, if I needed to take the chip off this. They're not that hard to get off with a bit of chip quick or something. God, the state of that board's unbelievable. It really is. But it's interesting, there was some corrosion around here, you know, around that pin. I'm just wondering if these caps here have leaked. Maybe that's what's wrong. There aren't a massive amount of SMD caps on these anyway, so that might be the first port of call with this. If I can't get any life out of this, if it powers on but it's not doing anything, I might just recap it before I do anything else and just see if that makes a difference. But for now, I'll just put this one to the side and we'll get the next one home. So it's the same story with this one really. The one screw, pretty much, all the others are just shattered off. You know, I think it's hard to tell. I can't see any of them. Maybe they're just, oh yeah, one or two has fallen out. There's one there fallen out. Anyway, this is the same as the other one, so it's not modular again at the back. So it's, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'll be able to use this. So we'll just disconnect the control thing. Oh, I can't do. There we go. You can see what I mean. Look, sheared off. So I'll just have to use some cutters to hold that, I think. But for the moment, in fact, let's just do that now. I'll use some cutters just to remove that. So there we go. I've got that totally stripped down now. I've removed all the components from the case, from both cases. Actually, I'll show you in a minute. But again, it's looking quite tidy. I've pulled the cartridge thing off here, but there's no damage to the board. It's just a few questionable, you know, like dry joints and things like that. The caps all look okay, but ultimately it could be the caps that's the problem, or the SNWRAM. You know, that's my biggest fear, or maybe a CPU failure. But I'm not sure. We'll clean these up a bit, I think, and then I'm going to. Once I've inspected the boards a bit more thoroughly, I'll check the power components around here. Separate bridge rectifier. What's interesting about this is, when I spotted this on the Super Famicom I did that 10, and I assumed it was a bridge rectifier, but this has got a bridge rectifier there, so I am honestly not sure. Is that a bridge rectifier? And that's a bridge rectifier. It's got 4 pins on it, that, and your AC is coming straight into it, so I've got no idea. It suggests that maybe the PAL units have got 2 bridge rectifiers. I don't know, because there wasn't one of these on the Super Famicom. You got one of those square packages there again that says, it's just where it says VR1, but I would assume that meant voltage regulator 1. Well, this is the voltage regulator, and it says U12, so it looks like there's 2 voltage regulators, which is a bit odd. I'm not sure what the second one's for. Anyway, I just thought you'd find it interesting. Fuse again over a gap, just the same as the model I've got, the Super Famicom. These chips, 62256s, S-WRAMs, in the sound, I think so actually. Maybe they're not. I think these are the ones that are 62256s. They might be the same actually. They look the same footprint. They're probably interchangeable. It's probably just about speed. But you can use the same chips from the Neo Geo. Get some of those like Lion Tech 62256s-55s or something. They're way fast enough. They're faster than you actually need. But there's plenty of modern equivalents to these, the SRAMs on these. It's just that WRAM that's a pain. If it's that, then it's just game over really. Anyway, I'll just show you some of the components on the that I've stripped off the other cases. As you can see, I've got a pile of all of the plastic components here, you know, sort of bevels and switches and buttons. As I mentioned, I'm going to be able to use one of those in mine because they're quite clean and you can read the text very clearly on them, whereas mine's a bit faded. Obviously there's bits of shielding are going to go back on the boards, but we've got you know, all these plastic bits over here as well. They're all in good condition, and apart from the fact these need retrobrining, but I thought I'd keep these anyway just because the text is actually in excellent condition. So, you know, someone might want one of these, I might need it in years to come, I don't know, someone might want one. So those can all be reused. Obviously these can be reused once they've been retrobrited, I guess. The cart edge things, connectors there just need cleaning up. But on these, are all the bits of plastic we've got left, so, you know, absolutely tons, you know, and I've stripped these down. I've got all the screws off them, all the fittings off them. There's just nothing on these really. It's just this yellow plastic. Oh, there's a bit of copper post there. I'll take that out. I can get that out. There we go. There isn't one in that one. You can see they're both gone. It's a shame. It's a shame they got so badly damaged. They were damaged before they came, but not like this. This is just like, you know, they've exploded. I mean, look at all the bits that have just fallen off as I've been dismantling these. You know, massive bag of bits there. I might even just take a photo and send it to the seller. So if I just show you, this was the first one. Switch it on. You can see it says loading, and then the screen dims. That's because there's no pull downs on the RGB lines. The cable I'm using here is for the Japanese NTSC version, but if you look at it initially, it looks almost alright. There's some corruptions there, I think could be to do with the PPU RAM on this, the graphics RAM. No idea. Bear in mind I've not cleaned anything up here. All I've done is just quickly reassemble it and just test it. The other one just gives a black screen, so I'll probably do a recap on that one, but it's going to be a later video anyway. I just thought I'd just show you these really, just so you could see what I've got. Interesting thing is I got one of those as well, a little cover for the AV, so didn't have one of those, so I'll put that with my original system there. As I say, I'll swap out that button for one of the other ones. So whilst testing these two SNES boards, I worked out that one of the front panels wasn't working because, you know, I showed just briefly before the EverDrive is actually loading, but you're getting some corruptions and things. I think that was the power supply. I'm using a proper power, you know, a better connector here, the original one. It's supposed to go with these PAL ones. It was, and then I got the screen coming up without any problems at all, but it was not doing anything, you know, not responding to the controls. But the time, you can see the time ticking away on the EverDrive there. In fact, I'll just show you that now. I can show you without the front screen. If you look at the clock, see it'll start fading out because I've not got the right RGB cable at the moment. It's not got the pull downs. But if I connect, yeah, when I connected the panel up, like I say, it wasn't doing, the controls were not doing anything. So I swapped it over and then it started working, and I launched a game and I could hear it, and it seems to be working fine. There might be some graphical issues there, I don't know, until I get the proper you know, PAL cable. I could modify my existing cable, but I honestly don't want to. I'm using it with my Super Famicom there. So anyway, the main point I'm trying to make here is one of these control boards was not working. This is the one actually, and all I did is just lift the ribbon, just disconnect the ribbon from the top part, put it back on, and that's it. That's now working fine. So if I just plug my crappy controller in here, you know, these cheap £2 jobs or something, not even worth the plastic, it really isn't. Anyway, switch it on. I'll have to do that again because you won't have seen that, but if I switch it off and on and then just quickly press B, you'll see it's gone into a folder. So controls are working there. If I try click B a few times, it might launch something. See what happens. Can you hear it? So that's working. So anyway, it would appear at least that this one works. There could be a graphical. Slot keeps coming off there. I need to sort that out. Obviously, it's because it's not screwed through in the case and stuff. But I need to clean the board up and stuff, and certainly check the caps out because I'm not sure whether this needs recapping. It may well do. I mean, these service-mode caps don't last forever, and they are usually what fail on these things. But this one is good. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It may well have just been that controller issue. So I'll just put that to the side. That's that dealt with. So this is the other board here. You you can see, and I've had to do a wire bridge just for the fuse for the moment because the fuse blew. It's just because I was tinkering around with the power cable whilst the thing was switched on, and that can happen. You can blow the fuse on certain systems where, if your power switch is engaged and you're messing around with the power socket at the back, it's very easy for it to arc and stuff there, and the current changes there as the power's engaged and disengaged can help blow the fuse. So that's why that blew. I'm pretty sure it's not drawing excessive current, but I will get a solderable 1.5 amp fuse to replace that with at some point soon. But this is going to leak into another video, I think, because I want to get this. I'll probably have to get the scope on this, check, make sure the clock's there to start with, I guess, see if we've got any activity, perhaps on the W-RAM, on the video RAM. Might even be capacitor related, it's got a load of these SMD surface mount electrolytics, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's why this one's dead, but it is just giving a black screen. Anyway, thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.